Hey y'all, it's Nancy here for Whimsy Stamps. Today's project is this sweet little Valentine's heart garland, and believe it or not, we are using this Heartbeats Slimline Die Set. This is the cutest die set with the sinus rhythm on the frame. The Thinking of You sentiment is in sinus rhythm font with these cute little heart-shaped tittles. Absolutely adorable. Of course I lost one. Even the largest heart has the sinus rhythm, but we are using these three smallest hearts for today's project. Now I am making my banner out of felt, or my garland out of felt. You can use whatever substrate or medium you want to use. But did you know that you can use your dies on other mediums besides paper and cardstock? You sure can. Look, it went through this felt like butter. So simple, so easy. Easier than paper, to be honest, but you can use chipboard, you can use fabric, all kinds of things. So once you have your hearts cut out, then you have to consider, what else do you want on it? Do you want large or tiny pom-poms? Maybe you want to dig into that button box or button jar that we all have, right? We all have it. Maybe it's time to use it. What about broken jewelry? Maybe it's time to repurpose or reuse the bits and pieces from that, or charms and beads. We all have these things laying around. How about we use them? So then you also want to consider your colorway, right? So for my project, I have a color scheme and plan already, but as I was going through, I really fell in love with this idea, but I digressed, and so I put it aside and I stuck with my plan. I'm proud of myself for that. So you want to consider, like, how big do you want it? Where are you going to put it? How many rows do you want on your garland? What will you use to string your elements together? And what adhesive are you going to use? So for me, my adhesive of choice obviously was hot glue, but a tip for that is, we always have those little glue strings, right? I use my hot glue gun, and that kind of shrivels up all those strings, so it takes care of that. So I used different colors of twine, and I used a contrasting twine for each layer or each row of my banner. So you can see I have a red row, a white row, which I did use some tiny pom-poms on. Chess is saying good morning to everyone. And I have the gray row and the black row. And again, just using my hot glue gun, laying everything out, making sure it's all nice and neat. Now, keep in mind that felt is very lightweight. So for this project, they being my hearts, were a little unruly. So I had to stop and straighten everything out multiple times. So, I got all my rows straightened out. You can see I'm tying my ends together. And then I'm gathering up my other row of ends, and I have to audition, like, is everything hanging properly? Is it where I want it to be? Or is each row the right length? So I just play with it a little bit. I'm auditioning again. I get everything in place where I want it, and then I tie that other end. Once again, I lay everything out, because once I get it together, there's really no going back, because once you tie these knots, they are tied. So making sure everything is nice and neat and that it will lay properly. Now, because this is so lightweight, this couldn't be a free hanging banner, meaning it has to have something to lay flat against. So with that in mind, I love to have all the little bits and bows and curls and tendrils and all of that. So I just took a bundle of different colored twines and ribbons and tied them all together on each end, making sure that they coordinate on each end. They don't have to be the same. And as I've said before with my other garlands, you don't have to put them on there. It's just what I like, and I think it's fun and whimsical, and it just adds a sweet little touch to it. So got my ribbons tied on each end, straightening it all out, and there it is in place. It's on my mantle. Again, it's flat against the wall, so that helps all those hearts to stay in place, except that top row. You can see that red row kind of flipping around on me, and I think that's because my fan was on. But that's my project today, guys. My sweet little felt Valentine garland using the Heartbeats Slimline Die Set. So again, this is Nancy for Whimsy Stamps. If you are not already a subscriber to the Whimsy channel, we'd love it if you would do that, as well as joining us on all the other social media outlets. And until next time, take care.